Hello, welcome to another video. This is the Lenovo ThinkCentre M92p and I'm going to install Windows XP on this and see how that goes. So I just wanted to let you hear the noise levels of this PC, so I'm going to be quiet and then I'm going to switch it on. I don't know if you can hear that. That's a beep from me pressing enter. And I can go into the BIOS. ThinkCentre M92p Tiny. USB. Legacy enabled. ATA. Got a choice of IDE, that's useful, or AHCI, so that could be useful for Windows XP, video, auto, audio enabled, network, etc. CPU setup, it's got hyper-threading, virtualization, and sort of, you can set it to power on if it loses power. Ooh, enhanced power saving mode. Interesting. So it's using 23 watts. This looks like it's to do with when it's switched off rather than anything else. Better acoustic, better thermal, automatic power on. And then we've got various other settings. It's quite a lot of options considering. But where does it tell me about the processor? Doesn't actually seem to tell me much, but it's an Intel i3 3220T, so that's a low power one, and it's currently got Windows 10 on it, so I may as well use that to create the boot drive, and I think I've got a spare USB stick somewhere, but we could also write a CD. But I'll try the USB stick first. So I should be able to copy the Windows XP ISO from the network. I think I've left it on there. Let's see if we're getting sound. It's got a little tiny speaker built in here, but I've connected some external speakers. Because it's got a, oh yeah, that's working. Because it's got a hard drive in here, it's quite slow, but not great for Windows 10, as you can see. It's 100% usage, but the speed of this drive in here should be quick enough for Windows XP. So I may as well use it. I'll regret that when or if the drive ever dies, but for the time being I think it'll be alright. The plan was to slipstream some drivers into a boot drive, but I thought I'd try something else first. The instructions on the internet say to slipstream the SATA drivers into the installation CD. However, I'm going to try this. Because it's got an ID option, I'm going to try this and see if it will let me install Windows XP like this. I don't know if it will, but I'm going to give it a try anyway. So I'm going to choose a different boot option, and why doesn't it show the CD drive? That seems odd. Boot mode, boot priority, legacy. Primary boot sequence. Okay. So I need to include this. Why are these excluded? Excludes it. Oh. Okay. So if we move this up to the, it seems to be okay. Well, I have to move these down. I can't move the other ones up. Okay. Well, we've got CD-ROM as the first boot device. Save and exit and see where we get to. So we're booting from the CD, which is Windows XP Service Pack 3, and we'll see if it detects the drive. Here is a standard 5 1/4 inch optical drive for sort of size reference. A massive difference in size, but okay, let's see what happens. Okay, we can see the drive. Let's delete it. There's nothing really on there apart from Windows 10, and I think I'm going to go for, say, 155. The plan is to have more than one operating system on this. So I could dual boot Windows XP or Windows 7. I wonder if this will fail at some later point. Wonder if in the future all we'll have are these tiny little PCs. If everything's built in, audio, graphics, processor obviously, laptop memory, laptop sized hard drives, or even tiny little mSATA or NVMe drives, then do you really need a massive PC? I think that's the thing, isn't it? It depends on what you do. If you just use stuff and everything's based on the internet, then why do you need a big PC? And as technology improves, graphics improve, power consumption goes down. You know, this is using 27 watts. You know, a full-size tower PC, depending on the configuration, could be, I don't know, 4 or 5 times that or more, and takes up a whole amount of space. Yeah, and so many people use laptops these days, so it's kind of like, do we really need so much power? And of course, if you're gaming and using the latest games, then it's a different story. But so many good old games that, you know, why not use something that uses less power? Okay, we're going to reboot and see if this bit works. So we don't want it to boot from the CD this time. Okay, it wants a CD. Let's give it the CD. So I've sped this bit up because it's just the Windows XP install procedure. You've seen it many times before. It's not the quickest, it's not too slow, and I'll just go through the process of putting in the details that the system needs. And yeah, you're not really missing much, just the sound of a CD drive. And it's all going fairly well. So we're booting into Windows XP. Almost. Got a mouse. We've got some window thing. Oh, we have to go through the user setup process, don't we? I don't think we've got sound. We've got to install all the drivers. I don't think. Sure. I don't think we're going to really have any drivers until we're sort of, yeah, we're not going to have many drivers until we've actually installed them, is what I'm trying to say. And got another laptop so I can download the drivers. I went to the website and put in the serial number, and it didn't seem to have any Windows XP drives, but when I did a Google search, it did come up with sort of Windows XP driver for all sort of ThinkCentres. And here we are. We have got Windows XP on this Lenovo. So it's got an Intel Core i3-3220T, 2.8 GHz, 3.33 gigabytes of RAM. That's because it's 32-bit operating system, which is fine. It's only got 4 gigs of RAM in it anyway, so it doesn't really matter. And we've got, 4 cores, because it's 2 cores, 4 threads, and it's using 110 megabytes, which is just kind of just really great. And it's using 16 watts at the moment, just under 16 watts. That is really low. So yeah, let's have a look what sort of drivers we've got. Not many at all. So yeah, USB video, oh, maybe, nope, we're going to be missing audio device. So yeah, I'll be downloading the drivers and installing some of these. Close the language bar. What do you get with Windows XP? Accessories, games, pinball. It's not the same without the sound though. But yeah. Wait there while I find some drivers. This is interesting that this is Windows XP and it comes with IIS, Internet Information Services. This is a built-in web server, so you can switch on FTP and IIS, snap-in, front page server extensions, SMTP, World Wide Web. So all this sort of stuff, you can set this up as a web server with Windows XP. It's a terrible idea. It's not going to be secure in the slightest, but back in the day when Windows XP was around, Windows 2000, you could set up a little PC in a little office, set up a little file server and have like links to downloads and files and sort of information for people, without, having to spend any real money on a proper server. You could just do it with your little PC. And yeah, these are the sort of optional extras. I don't know what additional. Set up RDP, set up a home or small office network, transfer file and settings. These are, you could do loads of really useful stuff just with Windows XP. It was much simpler, you didn't necessarily have the internet, I guess. Well, you might do, but you might just work in a little office and not everybody was out there trying to hack your PC, I guess. Although, maybe they were. Anyway, I'll carry on installing some drivers. Okay, so I've downloaded the chipset drivers, the network drivers, the video drivers, and the audio drivers, and I'm going to see how that does. It's also, I've put them on a XP install USB, I think. Then again, It doesn't like this USB drive. Let me try a different one. I'm going to see if I can use it on here before copying files to it. Yep, okay, great. So I'm going to install the chipset drivers first. That was pretty quick. Q77 Express. Probably a whole bunch of drivers don't really need. Just going to have a quick look at CPU-Z if it lets me. It's just doing the USB, so that's why it's kind of stopped my mouse working. Hopefully it'll come back. Yep. I want to have a look at CPU-Z. I know I shouldn't be installing things at the same time as installing other things, but you know, I'll restart my computer later. i3-3220T, 35 watts max, 2 cores, etc. Main board is a Q77 chipset. Okay, great. DDR3, etc. So let's restart. Okay, we're back. Let's have a look where we're up to with the devices. What are we missing? Audio, Ethernet, video. Okay, let's install some more. Video. Okay, so the screen's just gone off. That's probably while it's doing the drivers. Got Intel HD graphics. Okay. And we'll restart again. Okay, we're back in Windows XP and we have the graphics drivers because the resolution has increased massively. And we need .NET framework to run the Intel user interface to sort of change the settings in there, but we should be able to. Yeah, we've got 1280 by 1024, and for the purposes of this video, I'm going to make it so that it's larger so we can see what's going on. So, device manager, Ethernet, audio, PCI serial port, and unknown things. So let's install the other drivers that we've got. It's really quick. Did we do LAN? Nope. And we'll do audio because why not? And then we'll do the network, and then we'll see what we've got left. I don't have a network cable connected to this PC. I don't know whether I will be sort of putting it on the internet, but there are a bunch of updates available from Legacy Updater. I think that's what it's called. I did that on a virtual machine, pretty sure. There were just so many updates. Or was that Windows 7? I think that was Windows 7 actually. And we have sound, so that's nice. And we should be booting up really soon. We should get the startup sounds. There we go. Little, oh, that sound, that little pop-up sound. Ethernet and various other things, so let's do Ethernet and we'll work out what the other ones are at some point. Wonder if we'll have to restart for this. Probably. Yep, shot. It's quite impressive how little power this system uses. 18 watts at the moment, 18.4. Network cable is unplugged. A little 1 gigabit network. That's quite funny. Sound, Tel HD graphics, all sorts of options, Windows security alert. So, let's have a look. Still got PCI serial port, PCI simple communications controller, and 2 unknown devices. But we've got the graphics, which is the main thing, and audio. So let's have a real quick look at how this kind of performs. I don't know if 3D Mark 2000 will work without a bunch of DirectX drivers, things like that. XP is meant to come with DirectX built in, but I'm not sure what version comes as standard and what you need to update to. Well, yeah, detecting DirectX 7 on USO. Yeah, this is 2000 test DirectX 7, so that's fine. And these are all free on the Legacy website, and they give you the codes now for these, so you can use the full versions, which is nice. And I also want to see if Quake 3 Arena works. Used to play this a lot. This is great. You can still play it online with people, even just the demo, I think. So yeah, I can't. Let's just jump straight into Quake 3. That is just so good. Right, so we'll just go for what? High quality, why not? Processor should be plenty fast enough. Time demo 1, demo 01. And that was 235 frames per second. This is just amazing, really. I think if you've watched my Windows XP video machine, what did that get? 190 frames per second or something like that. 160 to 190. I'm not sure. This is already beating it, and it's a tiny little PC. So anyway, we can save that for another video, I think. But I'll just really quickly run 3D Mark 2000 and see what we get on this. Because this is just the Intel graphics built into the processor. And I think is VSync on or off? I'm not sure, but yeah. So it's worth noting that we're using 32 watts at the moment, just for your information. Okay, so we've got 14,000 3D marks. That's really, that's great. So just one more thing I want to have a quick look at is the disk performance of the drive in here. If you've watched the last video, I think you'll probably know what the performance is. I think we had a quick look at that previously. But yeah, I can just run disk info. Really useful bit of software. And it's even though it's a laptop drive, 320 gig, it's 7,200 RPM with a 16 meg buffer. So, and smart's good. So yeah, even though it's a laptop drive, it is a quicker one. And let's have a quick look at the sort of throughput we're getting. So we're getting, wow, 115 megabytes a second. 116, that's much better than I was expecting. And yeah, nice. You know, back in the day of Windows XP, you know, this would be quite a fast drive at that sort of speed. Well, I guess it depends how new it was and things like that, but yeah, this is pretty quick for Windows XP sort of era. So yeah, not much more to say on this system really. Just surprised how easy that was. This optical drive, having this optical drive with the system, I think really helped, because we could just boot from the CD that we'd written, Windows XP Service Pack 3. It's available on Internet Archive. And we enabled IDE mode in the BIOS, and we just installed it and then Googled the drivers from Lenovo's website. We had to put the serial number of this device in, but we then were able to download the drivers, and we have a working Windows XP system, and it's using 18 watts at the moment and 186 megabytes of RAM. So yeah, it's I thought I was gonna have to mess around with a bunch of you know, slipstreaming in the SATA drivers into the boot drive, I mean the install CD and things like that. But I didn't have to, so that was just way easier than I expected. And we've got an i3 3220T. That's 2 cores, 4 threads. That's loads for, you know, Windows XP. It would probably very easily run Windows 7 on this system, with this drive as well. And I mean, it was running Windows 10. It wasn't the fastest, but with an SSD, it'd be fast enough. And 4 gigs is kind of enough for Windows 10, but for what I want, Windows XP, maybe Windows 7, this is just great. Just works. Doesn't use power, doesn't take up much space, and yeah, stay tuned for another video because I'll probably be doing some more stuff with this, and yeah, should be fun. That's what this little system's about for me, having a bit of fun and compactness and cuteness. So yeah, thanks for watching. If you're not a subscriber, please subscribe, and yeah, let me know what kind of games you enjoy playing on Windows, especially the older ones. All right, thanks, bye. Very briefly, just going to show you that it's currently using, the processor's currently using 2.6 watts according to core temp. And then I'm going to run the CPU-Z stress, which should use all 4 cores. And the CPU apparently is using 11.9 watts. And over here it's showing as 29.9 watts. And the temperature is 55.